is the best word I'll use right now, deal with lactic acid building up in your body, in your muscles, okay? And threshold runs are critical. Here we go. Happy Sunday. Good morning. A nice cup of hot coffee in the afternoon. Yes, I'm just getting back from my long run. Actually, let me just take a quick sip here. It smells so good. I can't resist. I'm drinking the Finger Lakes coffee. I think it was Alexandra you sent the Finger Lakes coffee. Coffee grounds. Thank you so much. Hold on here. So I titled my long run today on Strava, Au revoir, long runs. And for those that don't know French, au revoir simply means goodbye until we see you again. So au revoir, and I'm not saying it right, but that's okay. Long runs, see you in 7 weeks. And of course, meaning I'm tapering, racing, resting, and then building back up. And we're going to talk about how to build an entire training plan. I'm hoping that maybe tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure, but in the next 2 or 3 days. And of course, long runs are part of my 13 different run types that I integrate into my training. And I do get this question quite often. I would say about once a year, I make a vlog about all the different run types that I incorporate into my training throughout a calendar year and throughout my training block. So that is the focus of today's vlog. And I'm not saying it's completely, it's all the run types out there in the world. I'm sure you guys have different run types that I won't even mention. And I will, the titles that I put on the screen, like one right now, are going to be key for understanding my pacing for these different types of runs that I do. Okay, so make sure you look at the titles as we go through the next, 10 minutes here. Okay, here we go. Today's run, 23.6 miles in Ultra Pro Vision 5s, okay? We're about to unbox the rest of these boxes back here for the Studio Superfans DGR race crew here in about 18 minutes, so I gotta be expeditious. But I unboxed the Ultra Pro Vision 5s, used them today for 23 miles, 7:05, about 7:10 a mile, 7:09 according to Strava. And let's see, I tried the heart rate strap last night, and it just would not work. I gave it a good effort, everybody. 1 hour of my time, and it would not sync up with the Polar Vantage V2. Polar, if you're watching, let me know what I'm doing wrong. I have no idea. I got it wet. I put it on around my chest. I checked the battery, and everything seemed to be working. I have no idea. So that's about as much time as I have for the next week or two. So I don't know. I was unable to use it today, but according to the watch, I was averaging about a 117 average heart rate for everyone out there that is interested in heart rates. Okay, let's dive in. And yes, 2 days ago, we set down our goals for 2021. So our goals are down in the comments in that vlog, upper right-hand corner. I think we're approaching at least 400 comments on that vlog. It's pretty close to that. So everybody listing what they're hoping to do in 2021. And my hope is that these runs that I'm about to explain to you will help you achieve your goals, okay? But I realize every single run that I list, all 13 of them, are going, like, I could make a vlog. In fact, I have made some vlogs about each individual run type. And there are some crossovers as well, okay? You can accomplish different tasks in the same with the same run, okay? So here we go. Let's just start at the top. Easy runs, that's right. One of the most popular, actually on the homepage of the channel, it has, I think, the top 5 vlogs that are the most popular vlogs on the channel. This is one of them. I think it's titled Run Easy in Order to Race Fast or something like that. I think it has over 100,000 views. So anyway, Easy Runs is run number 1, and upper right hand corner for that vlog if you want to dive deeper into why I always say here in the studio, easy days easy, hard days hard. I'll just leave it at that. So easy days, here it is on your screen, the pace that I like to run at, nice and easy, and I'm not going to get into heart rate zones. You know me, that's not how I train, but you should definitely, a big rule of thumb for easy days, you should be able to hold a conversation and frankly even sing along the way. Like, it should just be very what I like to also call silly easy. Like it should feel too easy, okay? To really, really let the body recover, okay? That's how I train. Easy runs, number one. Next up, steezy runs. So between steady and easy, and here's the pace for me for steezy runs, all right? There it is on your screen. It's the combination of steady plus easy. When you see that on Strava, I just put it together for steezy. I have to give a shout out to Mark Wetmore. He's the one that taught me about steezy runs. So something a little faster than easy days when you're feeling maybe a little peppy, or when you are earlier in a training block. Okay, this is key. When you're earlier in a training block and your body is more fresh, and you don't necessarily, like right now, I am in the depths of easy days. Like I have not been running steezy days for a long time because I'm tired and the body is like trying to absorb the training from the 130-mile weeks. So I am not running I'm definitely running easy days easy, okay? Moving on, steady runs, okay? Here's the pace on your screen. So we're getting a little faster, still should be able to talk, okay? And frankly, hold a conversation, but it's getting a little more difficult, all right? But, you know, you're not singing, I'll put it that way, on your runs when you're running steady. And again, this is the pace that I go at for my steady days. And I guess, gosh, I mean, for a steady day, it can integrate into long runs, middle distance runs, and yeah, long runs and middle distance runs. And we'll break that down here in a second. But anyway, there's your steady runs. Tempo runs, here we go. Now we're picking it up, and this is when I start getting into tempo pace and when the talking becomes more of, here's 2 or 3 words to your running mate, and then you have to kind of stop and take, breathe a little bit. It's starting to get faster. It's starting to get hotter and harder. It's starting to get harder to hold those conversations, okay? So that's a tempo run. And as far as distance goes, and hopefully I'm putting distances up on the screen as well. I will remember to do that in the titles for tempo days. I will rarely do tempo days that are longer than 10 miles, sometimes 12 miles, but it's not... Yeah, I don't use a tempo day for getting in mileage is another way to put it, okay? So there you go for tempo runs, all right? And oh man, there's so much to unpack here, but I got to keep moving. Threshold runs, I did that, 2 days ago on the Platte River Trail. Shout out to Joe, aka Secret Sauce, for helping me film that run. And threshold runs, okay? So you're approaching your lactate threshold, okay? And oh man, I believe I definitely have made a vlog all about that upper right-hand corner. Can't dive into that now, but you're training your body how to deal, is the best word I'll use right now, deal with lactic acid building up in your body, in your muscles, okay? And threshold runs are critical, absolutely critical. And what I like to do in a training block is go build up the threshold runs from 3 miles to 6 miles to 9 miles, depending on the distance I'm training for, all the way up to, yes, what I did a couple days ago, 16 miles, okay? All right, we'll come back to that as well in a minute. So there you go, threshold runs, FARTLEK runs, okay? Swedish for speed play. So a FARTLEK is, oh man, you can do FARTLEKs in all sorts of different types of ways. It's fun. It's fun. FARTLEKs are fun. So you can go 2 minutes on, meaning 2 minutes fast, and then 3 minutes a little slower. Maybe you go 2 minutes on at tempo pace, and then 3 minutes off at steady pace. Okay, so or you could go 90 seconds on, 2 minutes off. You can get totally creative, and you can do it for a certain amount of intervals, or you can do it by, you could say, okay, I'm going to go out for 40 minutes and do a FARTLEK with a 10-minute warm up and a 10-minute cool down on either end. All right, so there you go, FARTLEKs. There it is on your screen for some more detail. A progression run. All right, so you're starting. All right, so this is fun. So progression runs, you could start at easy pace and work your way, getting faster and faster and faster, all for 4 miles, for 8 miles, for 20 miles, okay? So you could start at easy pace and go all the way up to threshold pace, or who knows, maybe, I don't know, Yeah, I mean, I guess you could at the very end, but you could work your way all the way up to goal race pace, okay? Whatever race you're getting ready for. So that's a progression run where each half mile, mile, every K, every 3K, you're getting faster and fast. And it's actually really key, progression runs, because it teaches you how to pace correctly, all right? Pace your runs correctly, which can then be applied to racing. All right, so progression runs. All right, next, interval runs. Interval, what I like to call interval sessions, usually happens on the track, but doesn't have to if you don't have access to a track, or if you have to hop a fence sometimes. You just go around your block, and you don't even have to know the distance that your block is. You can do it by time, but you got your repeats, your ladders, your cut downs, your build-ups, your cyclicals, your diagonals, and the list goes on and on and on. Don't have time. We'll do a separate vlog all about different types of interval and track training sessions in a separate vlog. Sound good? All right, moving on. Here we go. Middle distance runs. Oh, I think this one confuses people a lot. Keep in mind, with all this, in this training block, I was training at 130 miles a week. Don't do that, okay? I am going to put on the screen, let's say you're training for 70 miles a week, which is actually a baseline that I usually say for marathon training is 70 miles a week. If I was your coach, this is what I would call your middle distance to go run in your training week, okay? So middle distance days are not long runs, but they're also not, recovery days or tempo days or easy days. So a middle distance day is getting a little more aerobic engine building on top of your long run. And I can't believe I didn't mention this at the beginning. The most important run, the cat out of the bag, big old secret that of course is no big secret. The most important run for me, and in my opinion, for your entire training is your long run. And oh man, okay, I'm going to resist. So, upper right-hand corner, I made the vlog. I think it's the most popular vlog on the channel, is 2-hour runs, the importance of 2-hour runs. And I'm not saying go out and run for 2 hours every week, but I would recommend working up to 2 hours at some point if your goal especially is to race marathons and ultra marathons and even half marathons, especially down the road, okay? 2-hour plus runs. But long runs is the next run on top of middle distance runs. But for me, I love to build that aerobic engine, build the base of the pyramid stronger than anything else out of all the different runs that I'm mentioning, because without that base, I believe that your peak will not be as high. You all know that. I've been preaching that here in the studio for not just months now, but for years and years and years. So middle distance runs, long runs. I'm going to throw in 3 more that are a little unique. Vertical runs, okay? So if you have access to mountains, not just hills, but mountains, all right? So I'm going to say, for me, it's that 3,000 plus feet of vertical gain. For you, it might be 1,000 or 1,500 feet. But just vertical runs. I'm telling you. If you want to be stronger, if you want to be healthier, because if you can handle and survive the uphill and the downhill consistently, your body, I'm telling you, your legs and getting stronger, it's unbelievable. What I believe I have learned over the last 5 years of training in the mountains, I think now I'm finally, quote unquote, kind of built like a tank, and I can sustain 130-mile weeks back to back to back. All right, I'll leave it there. Vertical runs, TLs, or tired leg runs. It's exactly what it sounds like. So when I do back-to-back hard days, so I'll do a long run and then I'll do an interval session right afterward, or I'll do like up in Leadville when I think I did a double, and I did the 14er halfway up, and then I did 30 miles the next day. That would be an example of specifically choosing to seek out tired legs in the training. So a TL run, tired legs run. And I think for me, it just builds up, yes, into the last run that I'm going to mention. For me, I could have easily done a 13-mile threshold this past week and the week before, and been frankly just fine anaerobically and aerobically for Naples. But the reason, and I mentioned this in the vlogs, the reason I went 16 and not 13 is for the mental toughness, okay? So I call it my mental runs, where I'm just trying to develop that mental strength for especially later in the race. Because you better believe on the streets of Naples, I'm gonna be thinking when it starts to really hurt in that pain cave, I'm gonna be thinking about, wait a minute. I've already done this. I've done 16 miles before, not just 13. I can handle a half marathon of pain, okay? So there you go, on your screen, once again, all the runs, and I will make more vlogs sooner rather than later, breaking down some of these in a lot more detail. But again, I'm laying them out here for you right now as we begin 2021, hopefully just to give you a little insight into my training, but hopefully that you can be like, ooh, I've never heard of a progression run before. Ooh, that's interesting. I actually forgot. I haven't done a fartlek since high school cross country. I should integrate that in, twice a month. Or, I think a lot of people, if you ready? You ready? Long runs. Next, I'm going to say next most important, threshold runs. All right. So I think a lot of people gloss over threshold runs, and that's the butter. That's the butter to the bread right there. So I'm gonna leave it there. Question of the day: what is a run type that you love the most and you love doing? Okay, out of all the 13 I listed, or one that I'm not even mentioning, and explain why. Or that's the other part. Part B is, what is a run type that I did not mention that you're like, this is something that I've integrated into my training. All right. And again, this is not a complete list. I know there's other types of runs out there, but this is what I do for me. Butter the bread. I got to go live. It's time, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. We're opening 2 boxes. It's going to be good. And I'm sure you'll see the shoes on my feet in the next week or 2. All right, everyone. We'll toss it to the 2 hour. We'll toss it to the 2 hour plus run vlog. I think it's the most popular video vlog on the channel. Right there. All right, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.